Today, I am challenging myself to see if I am worthy of my Italian wine citizenship. I am going to blind taste 3 traditional wines from the Italian Langhe wine region where I live, and I will try to identify the 3 major red grape varieties of the region that are used in these wines: Barbera, Nebbiolo, and Dolcetto. Well, am I going to be up to the task? Let's find out. Hi guys, I am Jacqueline and welcome to Hourglass of Wine. For those of you that are new to the channel and don't know me, I am an American, originally from California, but I have been living in Italy for nearly 15 years, specifically in Alba, Piedmont, in the heart of one of the most renowned Italian wine regions, the Langhe. If you are familiar with the Langhe, then you will know that there are 3 major red grape varieties used here. What I like to call the 3 Musketeers, or the Holy Trinity of the Langhe: Barbera, Dolcetto, and Nebbiolo. Each grape has its own characteristics and its own reason to exist, so to speak. If instead you are not familiar with the wines of the Langhe, I will leave a link in the description below to give you a quick guide that we have condensed the most relevant information about the Langhe in 5 minutes to help get you started. All right, so my task today, it is going to be to blind taste 3 wines that I have here in front of me and identify which one is the Nebbiolo, which one is the Barbera, and which one is the Dolcetto. But before I start the challenge, let me quickly recap the main characteristics of all 3 of these varieties so I can teach you best, not so I can refresh my memory of what I am looking for before getting started with the tasting. We'll go alphabetically, so starting off with Barbera. It is the workhorse of Piedmont and Italy's 3rd most planted red grape variety, covering approximately 25,000 hectares of land, the vast majority of that land right here in this region. It loves the area around Asti and Alba, giving its name to 2 of the region's most important denominations. In the glass, I'm going to be looking for a deep color like rubies because it's a grape that is tendent towards having lots of color. They'll be bright, juicy red and dark fruits underpinned by characteristically high mouth-watering acidity. What makes it truly distinctive is that vivid acidity combined with a relatively low tannin, making it approachable, young, and incredibly food-friendly. Next, we are going to have Dolcetto. Despite its name meaning little sweet in Italian, Dolcetto produces wines that are anything but sweet. It covers around 6,000 hectares of land in Piedmont, and it ripens the earliest of our 3 varieties. In the glass, it's the most immediately approachable, and it will usually be the youngest in age. I'm going to be looking for deep ruby colors, but with a little bit more of a purple hue than the Barbera. There are going to be aromas of ripe blackberries, licorice, maybe some almonds, a relatively low acidity, and a characteristically bitter almond-like finish, perhaps. It's very much an everyday wine, and it's deeply rooted in local culture, especially for the older generations of Piemontese who have grown up pouring it at the family table every night. For our 3rd and final grape, Nebbiolo. It is the undisputed king of the Langhe, covering a modest 5,000 to 6,000 hectares in total, almost exclusively in the northwest area of Italy. Yet, it is going to give birth to 2 of Italy's greatest wines, Barolo and Barbaresco. It ripens later in the season. Its name is said to actually come from nebbia, the autumn fog that blankets the Langhe hills at harvest time. Nebbiolo is a paradox, and that's what makes it fascinating. We have thin skins and a pale color, yet grippy tannins, and a nice acidity. That color is actually what's going to be a big help to me, because it's fairly different than the other 2. And it's also what I'm going to be looking for in the glass, together with complex aromas of violets, roses, tar, leather, and dried cherries. All right, so now I'm going to leave the room while Andrea pours these 3 glasses and marks them. I will see you in a minute.
So we have a Dolcetto d'Alba, a Barbera d'Alba, and a Nebbiolo d'Alba, all from the winery Fontana Fredda. Now I'm gonna open them and pour them each one in 1 glass. So first we have the Dolcetto d'Alba, which I'm gonna pour in the glass with the blue marker. All right, I'm gonna hide the bottle. And I'm gonna add a blue marker here so that everybody can know that this is a Dolcetto d'Alba. Again, the blue one is the Dolcetto d'Alba. Now let's go ahead and open the Barbera d'Alba. Alright, I'm gonna pour the Barbera d'Alba in the glass with the pink marker. Again, the Barbera d'Alba in the glass with the pink marker. And I'm gonna hide the bottle again, so the Barbera d'Alba goes here. We take the pink marker, which is gonna be again the Barbera d'Alba. And finally, I'm gonna open the Marne Brune Nebbiolo d'Alba. So finally, I'm gonna pour the Nebbiolo d'Alba in the glass with the green marker. And I'm going to hide the bottle again. So again, the green marker is the Nebbiolo d'Alba. So now I'm going to ask Jackie to come and do the blind tasting. I'm very curious to see if she's gonna find all 3 wines.
All right, 3 wines, 3 glasses. Apparently you guys know what are in the glasses, and I'm going to try to find out right now. So let's get started with the first one over here, the blue glass. So our color is a nice deep red. It's almost got a purplish hinge on the outside. A nice deep nose. I feel dark fruits here, maybe? Okay. Second glass. This one doesn't really have that purplish tinge. It's got more of a ruby color. The nose is a little less pronounced on it. Interesting. All right, and wine number 3. I think, just like I said, the color on the Nebbiolo is going to be a big factor. I think this is a nice kind of more of an orangey garnet color, so I think this is going to be more of the Nebbiolo. The nose as well definitely feels more Nebbiolo-like. It's a little bit more of that kind of rose petal, violets, a little bit of like a more sour cherry than a ripe red cherry, where I kind of got ripe red cherries here. Okay, let's start tasting. Start back over here. Nice soft mouthfeel. I don't get a whole lot of acidity. So that, with the fact that I do feel like there's a slight purple hue on the outside of the rim, leads me to think this might be the Dolcetto. Then here, I do feel like there's a nice acidity here. Slightly more tannins than this one. Okay, wine number 3. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's the Nebbiolo. I can feel the tannins all over my mouth. That plus the color on it, I'm gonna call this one as Nebbiolo. Green is Nebbiolo. We're down to these two. Am I on track saying Dolcetto? I don't like you. Although, on the second sip, there is a nice acidity coming through. But I still feel like overall it's just a softer wine, which is what I would associate more with Dolcetto. It's just an overall softer mouthfeel, softer wine. Although Barbera has a... no. Neither quite have the acidity that I was waiting for when I thought of the Barbera, which I think is what was throwing me off. I was planning on that acidity being a big hint for me. Io direi questo è la Barbera, ma secondo me mi anche freghi perché non l'hai messo in ordine.
I'm not telling you anything. Please, go ahead. Go ahead. You will find out.
I hate my cameraman / husband. He's so mean to me.
Go ahead.
I get more acidity with this one. A little bit more salivation coming through on the sides of my mouth. And a little bit, tiny bit more tannin. So I think this is the Barbera, and I think this is the Dolcetto. The color as well, this does look a little bit like it has a more purpley hue. So, all right, I'm gonna lock in my answers. Blue is Dolcetto, pink is Barbera, and green is Nebbiolo.
Are you sure?
Yes!
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely not. All right, so we'll start with the one that I'm the most certain on, which is the green. I'm pretty sure is the Nebbiolo. Yes! Okay, I got the Nebbiolo right. One down. Now I'm at a 50-50 chance for the other two. I am going to go with blue first. I think blue was the Dolcetto. Yes! Okay. I'm way too excited over this. And so that means that the Barbera that I thought was Barbera is indeed... Whoops, it's not coming off. Barbera!
Good job.
Yay!
You get your Italian wine citizenship.
Thank you. Now I just have to work on my real Italian citizenship. So all three of these wines are actually from Fontana Fredda. They are a winery based in Serralunga d'Alba. They're actually a pretty historic winery. They were founded in like the 1800s or something by one of the kings of Italy. And now it's really become like an institution in this area. They're a pretty good winery for price and quality ratio. Good wines at decent prices. All three from, around the Barolo area. We've got the Dolcetto d'Alba, the Barbera d'Alba, and the Nebbiolo d'Alba. I really liked all three wines, actually. They were very good. The Barbera had less acidity than I was expecting, but the Nebbiolo was the one I tasted the least of because it was the one I was the most certain of, but it's a really nice Nebbiolo d'Alba. It's got nice tannins that are not too annoying, but they're nice and they cover your mouth. And yeah, great wines. I'm looking forward to getting to enjoy these. And there you have it. I had a lot of fun, and don't have a whole lot of experience with blind tasting, so I think this was a great way for me to stretch my muscles a little bit and give it a shot. I hope you had fun watching along too. If you did, please like and share the video, and be sure to subscribe for more wine education content. We do lots of deep dives, quick 5-minute recaps, and even some quizzes and games to help test your knowledge. In order to keep learning, I am going to leave you with this video here on the Langhe and its wines like Dolcetto, Barbera, and Nebbiolo. See you there. Cheers!